So I've absolutely come to believe over the years that one of the main keys to a fulfilling and successful relationship is to friend zone your wife, your husband, your partner, whatever your situation is. Now, I'm not talking about withholding intimacy, giving it to somebody else, taking advantage of another person. I know that's the traditional definition of friend zoning, but I'm specifically wanting to emphasize the word friend. So often we take our partner for granted. We stop being curious about that person. We stop wanting to know what that person's desires are, goals are, what's making that person happy, what's making that person upset. And when we do that, we lose so much opportunity to connect. And it's through that connection that your relationship is going to get stronger, that your relationship is going to be built for the long haul, where you're not just two separate people who coexist in the same house or who coexist in the same bed. You'll be two people with a unified goal of making each other happy. And it all starts by taking a step back and not taking that person for granted. When you think about it, you started off as friends. You started off wanting to learn everything about this person, what her hobbies were, what her interests are, what her early childhood memories are. And as you develop and you progress and you get married, that friend turns into a wife, and a wife who you feel you know everything about. So the questions stop. You're no longer wondering what she would like to fulfill before she dies to leave this world with a sense of peace. What is that burning desire that's within you, maybe stemming from childhood that you never experienced, or a challenge that you backed away from so many times that it was eating you up inside? And as adults, you feel this need to confront this battle. And it may not be overly significant, but we let these things fester when we step away, and we never get this opportunity to get our get back, so to speak. And there's just so many things in that realm. When you have a friend, you don't judge this friend for the mistakes they make. Think about it. Your friend can tell you something atrocious. They harmed somebody. They did the wrong thing. And your first thought is compassion. What happened? I know you're a good person. I know this isn't you and your immediate mindset. So something must have gone wrong here. There's something that I want to understand about you and understand about the situation that's free from judgment, that's free from condemnation. But if our partner were to come with this same challenge, with this same problem, we're immediately thinking, why did you do that? You always do this. We start judging this person. And I think a lot of it stems from control. We think we own this person. We think we have a right to overly critique everything that's going on. And so you're getting to this point where you're actually treating your friends better than you're treating your spouse. And to me, it's a evolutionary process, but I think it's an evolutionary process we all need to learn to find our way to. We start off as friends, then you transform into husband and wife. And I think the third transformation needs to be back to friendship. What are your goals? What are your desires? How can I help you make your dreams come true? To me, that's one of the highest standards. How could I help you make your dreams come true? And you thinking about how you can make my dreams come true. How can we burn through all of these things that we have as individuals that never went away just because we became a couple? A lot of times people think those go away, but they stay with us forever. So, what's happening inside of us that we could address, that we can learn to overcome if it's something that's a personal challenge that has been bothering us, or experience if it's a desire that's related to going somewhere, doing something, so many different things. One of my favorite books is about a beginner's mind, and they speak about how we always want to approach situations with that mindset. Think about when you first started working at a new job. When you got there, you had your notebook, your ears were open, your eyes were open, you were soaking in all of the information that was around you. You were taking notes, you were studying those notes, you wanted to absorb and learn as much as you can. And then as you progressed in the job, you started feeling more comfortable, you started feeling more confident. And so you stopped being as inquisitive, you stopped being as curious, you stopped taking down those notes. And in some ways, this is of course progress. You made your way up to that point, but you're not allowing yourself to learn more. There's always more opportunities for us to learn something extra if we're open and we are curious. More than likely, your wife's favorite movie 20 years ago isn't her favorite movie now. I know mine certainly aren't. If you look at my interests, if you're asking me about my favorite musician, movie, album, whatever it may be, 20 years ago, it's going to have nothing to do with any of those categories for me today. In that aspect, I'm a totally different person. And if somebody's operating off of that information from 20 years ago, then there's a little piece of me that they're not knowing about today. And so if you're looking at your partner, there's so much information about them that you may not know today because you're using yesterday's information. And some of these conversations, I think, will actually be pretty challenging for you to ask, and challenging for your partner to even receive and give you proper feedback. And it's something you're going to need to work through. What is your saddest moment in life? How did that affect you? Is there impact here today? And it doesn't have to be clinical if I come across that way. It could be organic and natural, however it is that you're used to speaking with your wife. But learn to operate in these spaces of treating your spouse like your best friend, like somebody you want to help, somebody you want to learn about, and somebody who gets the privilege of operating without this sense of judgment, critique, fault finding, resentment. And I think you're going to have a much happier, healthier, and more than likely fulfilling marriage. Longevity is great. Somebody who's been together for 30 years, you see these people who connected in high school and they're together at 80 years old. There's nothing I would say to discount or dismiss that, but we need to factor in more than just longevity when it comes to success in a marriage, because people can so easily be content. We don't want to just exist. We want to live and experience and feel everything that there is to feel along the way. So that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. If you have a comment or opinion, share one below, and I'll talk to you next time.